Yes. Um, Speaking of which, I think I do recall those events many years ago of the Hinchley Fap haunting, um, which was largely based on No Saints Chapel, as I remember, and it was sort of centuries uh, reports of awful things occurring. The two-headed cats in the night, grinning at people. The phantom dog that shat on people's, the welcome mats, things like that. Used to hear a noise in the middle of the night, ringing of a doorbell, and to go there and down to the door downstairs in their nighties or whatever, and open the door, and there'd be nothing there. But they turned around and looked around, and then they would find on their little doormat a sort of ghostly dog poo. Um, there's reports of that from the 30s. Reports of that from it dies off largely with the war, mainly because some of the houses they were bombed, and so there was no little doormat for anyone to do little ghostly poos on. But and everybody said, or there's somebody said in I think it is like 1957. I think that there was a report of a ghostly dog shitting in the ruins of the bomb site after that, and the children used to call him the Nazi dog because of beastly Nazis bombs on people and all that during the Blitz. And so he became known as if he had personally sent a shitting dog just to make things worse. I don't think he did. I don't think he did. I think he did many ghastly things, and as you hear on some of my other recollections, he was certainly guilty of a number of hideous and very unpleasant occult practices. But the shitting Nazi dog is a myth, although not to be confused though with a ghostly phantom dog that may actually have shat on people's doorsteps. But I think it's very important to excuse me, to have the clarification. Otherwise we'll be in a real pickle here. But these things have always been in that area really. Um, but so it's a sort of horseshoe of paranormal things and experiences and reports, um, and slap bang. Is Slappity bang in the middle of all this is the Hinchley Chapel of No Saints, um, which itself has a very disturbing history. Really, I mean, it goes all the way from an eviscerated monk in about 1335, all the way up to about 1975, when the verger has been openly he's been seen openly eating tomatoes. Um, and you may wonder what is so awful about eating tomatoes. You didn't see what he did. I mean, you didn't see the very unpleasant method in which he was stuffing them into his mouth. I mean, that had no manners whatsoever, and very few teeth, very few teeth. And oh yes, yes, the manky verger of Hinchley Fat, they used to call him, with a good reason, with very good reason. Um, and and other things. I mean, there is meant to be the grey lady. I mean, there's many reports, whatever, written of grey ladies, ladies in white, ladies in black, and all that. But they have a grey lady, um, a lady of that variety, and have a grey lady. But according to witnesses, she smelled vaguely of parsnips. Although there is one report which I tend to give greater clarification to. I mean, greater validation to. I mean, in which they say it was probably mushroom risotto. It just smelled of. And that is what I believe. That is what I have come to believe over the ages, that the Grey Lady smelt of mushroom risotto. Um, and there's horrible, dark, shadowy things, events, unpleasantries being committed on this side of the chapel for centuries. Absolutely centuries and centuries of bloody awful things. Immensely ghastly, just shocking. And that is why there are the famous stone steps which can never be cleaned, because of the sins of the past. No, sorry. Sins of the past, and also bloody laziness, but mostly sins of the past. Um, and when I investigated it, the stains were still there, and one of the most unpleasant occurrences, the usual thing is the gold hair, the hairs rising like your neck and arms and things. Undoubtedly, there was the shade of of the late, very late, uh, Reverend Reverend Penny Shaw, who he was reputed to have been the Reverend there, the vicar of that parish, round about about 1850. I mean the records are a little vague here. They got washed out, stained on. Something happened to the records, so they're a little vague on that account. But around about 1815, you have this ghastly fellow, and oh God, I saw him that night. I saw a cadaverous fellow, and the eyes. I wouldn't say they glowed, but they sort of simmered with a sort of ghastly palish off-white, not quite beige. I mean, you wouldn't really call it a beige evil. I don't know, maybe more of a magnolia evil, a simmering magnolia evil, and oh God, the sideburns. I mean, he had this sort of mutton chop sideburns. Oh, they were hideous. I mean, it was quite frightful. Um, the three of us ran away, and the other one, the other one was sort of just rocked backwards and forwards, making little noises and said about how somebody once touched. I didn't want to listen to that. I didn't think that was the time or the place to hear those sort of revelations. But anyway, they were a jolly rum sort of state, I can tell you. And I think we're lucky to get away with our lives. Really, it was right off. We left. We left poor Billy rocking on forward and doing his thing there. And But quite frankly, his main problem was he decided to sit by the stone steps, and we said, Billy, don't sit by the stone steps, and he wouldn't really listen, and that's why he's telling everyone about how his scoutmaster touched him in 1975. I mean, it's awful, really, but and dreadfully embarrassing. But and nothing we can do because the scoutmaster, the bastard, he died before we could really report him. Which is sad in its own way. As Billy was going to dig him up and sort of hang him from a tree and say, "Ah, I got you, you bastard. Everyone will know now." I mean, said, "Billy, don't do this. No, it's no." But yes, not something one should really mention. But or rather, if you do mention it to the local police. So remember that. I think that's good advice. Always report it at the time, not when he's dead, not when you have to try and dig him up. In fact, don't dig him up. That's probably against the law. I mean, I don't know. I don't know really what the sort of moral situation is about digging up criminals and punishing them if they haven't been punished during their lifetime. But I mean, basically, to me, that just sounds like a recipe for causing a terrible manifestation of something hideously unpleasant. I mean, you may think, oh yes, well, it's too late, and all we can do is a vague sense of retribution and justice by digging them up, and the next thing you know, you've got something bloody scary running after you, and all sorts. So we had to tell him not to go and do that. As awful as this man had been in life. I mean, it'd be wrong for his family to perhaps discover at this late stage about this Scoutmaster's history, and so we'll keep his identity a secret. Um, Apart from the fact that his name is Nigel Feversham, and you can look him up anywhere really. But apart from that, we'll keep his identity a secret to prevent anyone digging him up and causing any untoward occult beastliness that may occur afterwards. But yeah, so we ran away. We saw. I saw as the fearsome mutton chops of this awful front, and I never went back. I never went back. Strangely, Billy went back because he I don't know why. I don't think he found anything more there. And the other people, they sort of. I remember. Certainly with oh dear, that's fine. Yes. Oh, as my ghost siren going off. It appears I've been summoned to another haunting. Hopefully, one it doesn't involve mutton chops because that's really terrifying. But yes, I must be on my way. I shall ask nurse to wheel me out of here, and we shall be on our way to whatever horrors we shall find. So until next time, may be with you, and good hunting, and good luck, and don't dig up Scoutmasters, as that will cause paranormal awfulness. Um, and unless of course you use the usual things of the salt, iron, choosing what's it's very good for containing certain spirits, the gratification of That's another story. That's another story. But they're very relevant to that story. Anyway, yes, I must be gone and off. So be off with you two, and until next time. Whatever's.